Hey, what's up everyone? Upstart here with RyXe Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Now, in the previous episode, I did do a little bit of explaining of what was going on, maybe what I was gonna do. But the main thing we focused on was, we unlocked the hyper tubes, and I set this up to go all the way down. So at the end, I had it where I would come out like this, and I thought that if by pressing the W in the proper direction, like going forward, I thought it would speed you up. It doesn't really affect it. It does it naturally because of it, since it's going downhill. So that doesn't really matter. Just if you're facing forward and you start going like backwards, it just turns you around. So, but if you're hitting the W, which going forward, and then you turn your camera, it'll actually turn you around. But anyways, what happened is that since I had it like this, it kind of was going too fast, and then all it did was pretty much drop me down. Boom! And it's as if I would have fallen from a really really high place. So it would kill me. I kind of sort of changed it up a little bit. All I did was I didn't do this exactly. All I did was have it face forward, and it launches me forward. It doesn't shoot me very far off. But I think that right there offset the damage, the fall damage, instead of going straight going down, which it considers it fall damage. Shooting me straight doesn't exactly do that, apparently. Well, at least that's what I think. I always try to brake a little bit before I hit the end, because I don't want to die. Having to take this all the way back and then come back, blah blah, just wasting time. But anyways, I did say I was gonna try to figure out a way to set this up so I can transport around or move around my factory, because it has gotten quite a bit long since the last time I showed it off. I showed what I had going on. So I didn't really put anything on that side, because since those are the more basic, a basic of basics production lines. Yes, they are important. The whole production line is important, but I didn't really feel the need to add anything to this side, aside from the fact that I have everything super cluttered right here. I have everything really close, because the way I did this here, so I can the new or the different way I was gonna transport everything across. This right here, I pretty much just inserted it. Just try to make it fit is what I did, because I wanted to leave some room. I wanted to give some more room here. So what I would have had to do was just move all my production lines, move all my smelters, foundries, constructors, whatever I have over here. I had to move everything over, maybe 2 or 3 squares or foundations. I just call them squares. Over, and I would just have to move everything. And I'm like, you know what? I really do not want to do that. So I figured out a way to just add it in between here and just make it work. So it works, but it is a bit cluttered. So I don't really have space for any kind of tubes, tubing, hyper tubes, whatever. But I did have space over here, and these are more important over here, because these are more more finished products, more usable products, not really something that I wouldn't need, the ore, the ingots, I mean. But regardless, I still have ingots in these buffers, these storage buffers here that I have, or that I'm using. So even if I would need it, I could just grab it from there. I probably wouldn't. But anyways, so what I did was I have 2 tubes. I have one running all the way down to where my my containers end, or where my factories or production lines end. I was planning on making one all the way to the other end of the ramp, but I decided against it, because I did have to run power lines all the way to it to come back. And I'm like, I don't really need that right now. If I were to need that, I'd probably if I wanted to go all the way down, I'd probably put it in the middle instead. That way it would be one that I'm I'll use occasionally, similar to this one. That's why I have the entrance this way on this one, and I haven't changed it to something like this, because since this is not something I'll be using that often anymore, or at least that's what I think. because I'm most of my time I'm just spending my time up here, you know, getting things done, getting work done, getting all these things. So I have it facing forward on these over here because these transmute. I just, you know, just walk into it. I could do the same thing with this, but I think this looks a little better than that. So I just have this. I just gotta, you know, be a little careful not to get too close. I think you can like go like about halfway here, walk across, no big deal. You know, like from this, like this half the square over this way is probably when it's gonna get you. Half the square to the left, you know, of the entrance, it won't. But anyways, I have one just going all the way, going down to where my last factory is, and then I have the other one going to. Those autosaves chug me super bad, but whatever. What am I gonna do? Well, I can deactivate it, but nah, I'll leave it. I don't want anything going wrong on accident. But anyways, the other one, the one on the outside, is actually the one I have just going halfway, halfway down, as I'll demonstrate right now. So yeah, it's pretty short. It's not really that long. It looks like it's going faster when you're at this angle, but you look at it like this, not really that fast. So this is kind of halfway through because I have my factories or production lines. I kind of count them in like I look at them in sections. Usually just go by the tallest one, like on each section, and that's like one section, 2, 3, and then there's that fourth one. That's my middle because there's 3 more on the end, 1, 2, and 3. So I have that going there, and then I just leave this one section clear of tubes. Well, you know, that one takes me all the way across, but that's different. And then this one will just take me all the way to the end. So that's something I kind of have going there. And then, so there was another one that I was thinking of doing, but I was like, maybe not. My original plan was to actually do one to take me to each individual section and just like drop me off on each individual one. And I'm like, you know what, these tubes are just gonna be too short. I'm just gonna use too much electricity, or I'm just gonna, you know, it's gonna be like unnecessary like tubing, you know. So I just decided to go, you know, 3 sections and then 3 sections and then in the middle, whatever. What I did need though was tubing taking me all the way across this next well, through the basic assembly, you know, across the basic assembly area, which would be this right here. I call it the basic assembly area because it's like making the iron rods, screws, what is it called, iron plates, things like that, copper stuff, you know. So and that's a little longer than each single section, so I think it was worth it doing like so it could take me all the way down here, because here we have new things going on. This is the more like medium to advanced section. I say medium to advanced because some of them are more advanced things or products or materials than others. This one over here is just cables. These are two. I have, you know, I have my ratios more or less where I want them split like evenly. I'm not gonna explain that because to each one it's gonna be like it's all gonna depend on your own production or output of a particular of your respective resources you're using for, you know, for that material. So I'm not really gonna go into that. But right here I have 2 for cables, and this one just takes. And that's pretty much all I could do with the one that I'm using, with the one container I'm using for cable. So that's why I only have those 2, and then there's nothing else here because there wasn't really anything else that needed wire that I could have here. There is something else, but that's going down over there, as you can see. So I have that one huge container is all for cable, and I got that doing its thing. Over here I did something similar to what I did over there on the center area, where one takes me like from one extreme to the other, and one just takes me like to the center, as you can see right there. It's kind of the center area. I think it is. I may be off though. I may have to like rework this because I don't know if this is the actual center part. At the, like, if it lines up with the other piece or the other tube that's over there. I don't know if I cut it off here or over that side. I don't really recall. But anyways, that's cable. Right here I have copper. I can't remember what I have here. Rotors and stators? No, reinforced iron plates. Where's the rotors and stators? Oh, I think I have them on the steel side. Okay. So yeah, right here I have reinforced iron plates. I have 6 of these, I think. 1, 2, 3, and then yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I have six assemblers making reinforced iron plates. I think my reinforced iron plate container or storage area, I think it's already full. So that's why they're not making that much. Oh, they're just not getting enough screws. Never mind. I think the issue with this, with the screws, it's not being fed fast enough. It's due to logistics on my transport. It's because of the what are these things called? I forget. The conveyor belts, because these transport 270, I forget, and I have it so that these are using about 400, a little less, but the 400 is like my output, how much I'm producing per minute with all my in my constructors. Speaking about constructors, the screws, I actually got the alternate recipe for the screws, but I'll explain a little more on that because I want to say something else with that. So here, it's producing 400 per minute, more or less. So that's how I have this divided up or split. That's why I have it into 6 assemblers. I do have it, I think I have it reduced, yeah, to 88% each. So it's just not bringing them fast enough. It's just not bringing. I think the production is fine. I don't think there's any issue with the production. This one right here should be the screws. Oh dang. Okay, so I'm having problems, but I guess I'll figure that out later. But yeah, I technically would need 400 being, transport per minute, but well, that's not the case. So my container seems to be empty. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on there, but it's no big deal. It's not really a huge problem right now. I'll figure it out later. Over here I have, these should be the stators. I have 2 of those, and these over here should be the rotors. I have 3 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so if things are like, supposedly I made my calculations with the ratios and everything, and that's why I only have this many machines per set. I don't know what happened with the screws. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Maybe it's using too much of iron ingots or something, and it's not getting enough. I thought I had that calculated properly as well. Apparently not. I don't know. This side I have encased industrial beams. I think I only have 2 of those going. No, I have 3. I have 3 of these, and these should be fine. Yeah, those have no issues. So here's the concrete. All I did, since similar to like the concrete, and the quartz crystal, since I didn't really have any production lines that would be like in here, all I did was bring it down across like that, and then boom, just pretty much just move them over to like the next warehouse area where they might be used. And over here, well, yeah, I used concrete and the steel beams. So all I did was move steel beams from here. I think it's on that one right there, going down that way. I do have steel beams split off again over here, because actually down here I still have another section which we could go down. I only have this one tube taking me down across this area because I only have like one thing being done over here. Well, I have like 4 things, but the main thing is this little area here because it just got shorter because there's nothing else over there and there's nothing else over there. Right here, what I did is I just got this thing, little production area put together real quick, because we're gonna have to upgrade to the next tier, because we just have one more milestone to finish, and that's that one in the top left right hand corner. I mean, the vehicular transport, which I don't really care for. I just want to get it out of the way, which I do have materials for. Speaking of those materials, I actually have those on hand. I'll talk more about the hard drives when we get to the whole hard drive part. So automated wiring, I actually, fill those up with power shards, which actually, you know, as of this new update, have a new model or skin. There's a few other things that have it. I think the reinforced iron plate. I don't remember seeing the new one before, but before it just looked like one rectangle and like a thick iron plate. But now it does look good. So I just pretty much put this to just produce non-stop until it filled up one container, one full industrial container. So I have smart plating there. I have the automated wiring there, and actually right down over there I have another one for the versatile framework. That's why I have this line of steel beams coming down. This right here is my whole production line for modular frames. So reinforced iron plate, like I said, like we saw earlier, we apparently I'm having a production issue or problem, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. That's why these are, you know, well, it doesn't have enough. I thought it would, apparently not. So the iron rods, I wasn't using them for anything down in this area over here. So all I did was something similar to with the concrete, which is I just brought it down. I brought it down because the containers were right there. All I did was bring it on the like the output conveyor line, and I just have him, like, you know, coming down here. This one was the reinforced iron plates, but it's empty now. So I'll have to figure that out. But anyways, down over there I just have one tower for modular frames. I do have well, I don't have this properly like aligned to where I would really want like these more advanced items to be like to be their warehouse area, because I don't really have any more aside from this one. So as you can see off on the sides, this is pretty much the only area just going off to the edge. So I think that's enough of the explaining of what I have going on. Maybe some people would want me to explain how I have like these splits going here. I think it's a bit too complicated for me to explain it, but if I were to just explain it real quick, it just depends. If you're gonna split two ways, I pretty much just do a four-way split and just don't add the fourth split with the splitters. For threes, I just do the three-way split, which is whichever conveyor belt is coming down and feeding into. Well, obviously I'm gonna have to split right there off down like a lane like this, and all I need is one splitter at the level of the first input, like of the first spot where it's gonna feed into. Like, you know, just give it a little bit of space just so you can like have not really, so it won't have like too much clutter. And then the next one down, I like to have it straight, so that's why I add another of these stackable conveyor poles, like this tower here. I add it to the front so it can be kind of straight. As you can see, it should be straight. And then I just have the one that's going straight out, splitting straight out, and then have it there, and then that one feeds into the second one. And then the last one, I have another stackable conveyor pole tower here, like further out, because it, you know, it has to split off from this side. And then I just connect it there and then connect it to the last one. It's pretty much it. This other one right here, I pretty much just have it aligned to the next feeding input, and, you know, same thing, same principle. So we're gonna have to do that space elevator today as well in this episode. So that's not it. So we're gonna need, it's 500 smart plating, 500 versatile framework, and 100, which I thought was 500 as well, automated wiring. So we need 10 stacks of these, 10 stacks of the, I forget, smart plating, and I think just, is it 10 stacks? I forget. But anyways, let me just grab these real quick, and then we'll head over and grab the other ones. Right, and now the automated wiring. So yeah, I forgot. So I just need 100, so it's just 2 stacks of this. And then over here, so it is 10 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully I didn't miss one. I'll figure it out when I get to the end. So this actually does help, you know, quick transport around the factory. I don't really want to make it too complicated, the whole tubing thing, but, you know, at least to get like through these more longer areas, I think it's fine. But like I don't see how it would work with going like for vertical, unless you have like other floors, because I was thinking about maybe making something like this but going down all the way down to the like the ground, to the like the earth, down to the planet again, because I'm on the planet but I'm up like up in the sky, but I mean like on the ground. But I guess I couldn't do that because it'll stop midway, and then I would have to have a support somewhere to get the for the support to actually, you know, latch onto or be built on top of. So that idea, you know, has gone to the wind because it's not gonna work. But anyways, let's go back here over here. Let's do this milestone real quick. Vehicular transport, so 25 modular frames, 100 rotors, 200 of the cables, and 400 of the rods.
Milestone reached. Long-range transportation, as well as the construction of outposts, is now encouraged. Vehicle stations have built-in functionality to refuel and restock or collect parts.
I really don't see this of any use, at least not for me, because of how I've done my factory, how I've decided to do this, like way up in the sky. I think just having conveyor belts like this, yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass trying to get this all done, and having to build all this, going all the way down and then bringing your lines all the way up. Yes, it's gonna be a pain, but it'll just be there once it's done and it's free. It's not like you have to refuel something. But the truck, nah, not really, especially since vehicles works just like this, or this works just like the vehicle, where if you're going downhill, yeah, it goes faster, but if you're going uphill, it's gonna take a while for it to get to the speed goes down, it reduces its speed. So yeah, that's a thing right there. So as we wait for that pod to come back, I just want to explain something real quick here with the MAM, with the hard drive system. A few days ago, I made a video about it. Oh, speaking of a few days ago, yesterday I didn't upload a video, and I just want to apologize and say why, and just give an explanation as to why. The reason was that I was trying to get all this together, all my assembly lines over there, production lines, trying to get all that to built and get something more interesting to show off than just like something that's semi-built. I wanted to have a lot of things to do, so I had to build. That's why I got those 2 or 3 assemblers making the parts for the space elevator. I just set it up real quick after I had set up my assemblers for the other parts that I needed, because then I would have been like, what am I gonna show off? I really didn't have much. Right now I have plenty or so, but anyways, that's mainly the reason why I didn't upload an episode yesterday, was because I just didn't have I just I hadn't finished what I wanted to get done, and I felt like I didn't have enough content to show, or actually something to show for it. But anyways, just something real quick. I'm just gonna make a quick cut. I'm gonna save before I do this part. Alright, back in. So I had done a video on the on the whole hard drive scan system, because it kind of like I figured it out. I just saw it and it was like, what the heck, what's going on? And then there was just an update just like 2 days ago or something, or a day, I don't know, yeah, like 2 days ago or something like that. There was an update where, well, just hit scan, and whoa, hey, you can't do that to me. No. I hadn't tested this beforehand. It had done it instantaneously. What the heck is going on? I don't know what's going on, but there was an update, and the hard drive was being done instantaneously. I don't know if that was just like a bug. I thought they were gonna take it off. I'm like, I think they took it off. Well, I don't have any proof, right? Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be bugging out like it is right here. But it was instantaneous previously. Again, after first it was like this, and then it was instant. I don't know what's going on. I actually made an made an edit on the description in that video, saying that on the 26th, there was an update rolled out and it made an instant. I don't know if they added an. I think they did a new update after that that kind of patched that or refixed this hard drive issue. I don't know. But anyways, I guess it still applies. And anyways, that's not really that important. Though I will have to take down that edit update message from that, because that might be wrong. I'm misleading or something. So I'm just gonna reload because I don't care for this right here, and I don't want to waste my hard drive because I've already I got the alternate recipe for the screw. That's why it's making so much, and I got the alternate recipe for the rotors because I just wanted to use the pipes as well as previously. I wasn't gonna deal with them very much, but I'm like, you know what, I want to cut out. As I thought about it, there was just so much that I had to do. I had to make another production line for iron rods, and then just move that one over to make, you know, just directly feed it into the next constructor for the screws. And I just make the calculations, and I didn't really have enough space up there to properly do that. So I decided against it, and that's why I just went for the alternate recipe where it just would feed directly the iron ingot and just make the screw into one, you know. It's just one phase instead of double phasing from rod to screw, and then it just be to screw. The rotor one, I just got it because it would just use the same materials as a stator, the stator's standard recipe. So that's why I went for that one. But when I did it, it was instant for me. All I did was hit scan, and it just popped up the result screen. So yeah, I don't know what's going on this time around. Maybe they just patched that because they probably accidentally removed the time. Maybe, who knows. But anyways, let me reload, and we're gonna start on the space elevator real quick, at least to unlock the tier because we're almost out of time. Alright, back in. So I'm just gonna toss in all the materials for the space elevator phase, which is, like I said, 500 smart platings, 500 versatile frameworks, and 100 automated wire, which at first I thought it was 500 as well. I'm like, oh, it's 500 of each. Okay, so this should be 500 right there, 10 stacks of 50. That should be another 500 there, 10 stacks of 50. And this, well, it's just 2 stacks of 50, which is just the 100 of this one. So this is just the little quick setup I got going. You know, it's all going in there, all good. It shouldn't take very long. At most, it'll take 2 minutes because you know, these do transport 270 per minute, so it shouldn't take very long. Just one other thing I wanted to mention as well before I forget. Well, you saw I have so many machines. I'm like, did I really get all that done with just the 600 megawatt hours I was producing that I showed that I had in the previous episode? No, I actually have an 1800 capacity now. I tripled my production because I had an issue part ways where my power was going out because I couldn't have everything running at the same time. So my first power plant or coal power plant that I made was with these two normal coals over here, and it was somewhere around here by this water edge right there. The second one I came over here. I was thinking of using these two here first, but no, what I decided to do was use this normal one over here because as that one was pure right there, that coal is pure. The one next to it was normal, and I'm like, well, then what I'm gonna use that single one for? And then I'm like, it clicked. I saw there's two impure ones. So what I did was I fused these two into one conveyor line. I joined those two, I merged them, and then this one I brought it over, and then I have it somewhere on this area. I have another power plant of the same size, 8 coal generators making 8 or generating 600 was it? Yeah, 600 electricity. So that's doing this thing. It's the same setup as the one over here, so it's working as it should. No big deal, no problems, no hiccups so far. And then when I got to the point I was reaching the limit of 1200, I didn't have any issues, but I was like, you know what, I think I should probably make another one, and I did. I brought down these 2 normal coals, and that impure one is just hanging there. I haven't done anything with it. And I brought it all down to around here, and here is where I have another setup near this limestone over here. And here's where I'm getting the water. So that's where I have another setup of pretty much the same thing. 3 water extractors, 8 generators, and the 2 normal coals, feeding into all of them somewhat evenly. Just one more thing, I have used 2 hard drives, and I do still have 2. That's because I found one in this oasis over here in this corner, somewhere in this little area where these 3 little little island inlets thing whatever are. It requires 70 megawatt hours, just so you know. But that's pretty much that, and I think that should be done right there. So to not extend this episode way too much, yeah, that's done. Let's send it off. It's done. 500, 500, and 100 full. It's loaded. Seal it. And let's send it. I wonder if it has a voiceover this time around. Probably not. Still doesn't have a voiceover, so we're just gonna ignore that right there. No, let's get launched. Pretty nice, whatever. What do we have now? So I wanted to do that vehicular one, transport here, that milestone, just to get out the way, because now I don't have any here. Now I just have 5 and 6. So now we're on 5 and 6. We've got oil processing. That's gonna be more liquids we're gonna have to deal with. Oh yeah, so the motor icon and the model, that was updated. That looks pretty nice. Here we have industrial manufacturing. We have manufacturer, truck, heavy modular frames, computers. The modular engine, I'm guessing that's a space part, space elevator part. It seems so, yeah. Then we have the adaptive control unit, which I guess is the next part. Yep, this part 4, that's part 5. That's gonna be, you know, kind of nice. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna need for that and what I'm gonna need for this other space elevator part. Let's see. Industrial fluid buffer, so just a bigger container. There's the empty canister, packaged water, packaged oil, packaged fuel, packaged heavy oil residue, packaged liquid biofuel, liquid biofuel. That's gonna be nice. Gas masks and filter. And then on 6 we got expanded power infrastructure. So we got the fuel Jenny right here. I think that looks different. That icon looks looks a little different. I think now they just have it where it looks like it has the actual oil containers on the top or something. Mark 4 is my favorite. Mark 4 conveyor belts and lifts. Those are my favorite. Caterium scan, which I think I already have. Jetpack, inventory slots, and the train, which I'm not gonna use again because we've already tested it before and I didn't like it. I didn't really care for it. It doesn't really seem that interesting. Okay, it still works with the same principle as vehicles. If it's going uphill, it's not gonna work. I'd rather use tube to get across from one way to another, or conveyor belts when I'm gonna get a resource to somewhere else. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have going on. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna start getting all these things together. For sure I'm gonna have to add another factory, like on the same level, similar to where on the area where the modular frames are, like, you know, just ahead of where the rotors and stators are being made, or I mean stored, and start making motors, because I'm making this already. I already have all this all good, you know, that's no big issue, and I just need to make motors, so that's not a problem. The problem is when I gotta start getting rubber, you know, oil products, plastic, rubber, then heavy modular frames, more plastic, even more motors, rubber, plastic, and even fabric for this apparently. Heavy modular frames, then computers. So yeah, it's gonna be nice trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. Just one last thing, I guess. Since it seems it's actually taking me longer now to get things built, to get things together, and since we're, like, you know, we're advancing further into the game, we're obviously not at the beginning anymore. It takes me a longer time to set things up, to get things built, to get things properly set up, or at the very least as proper as I can do it. It's gonna take me longer to get those things done. So I'm thinking I had recently, tried to do a video a day. I probably will have to go back to the um, the schedule I had. I had decided to do like midway of uploading the first Satisfactory update series part, whatever, where I was doing one a day, and then I'm like, you know what, probably not. Then I went to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think I'm gonna have to do that this time around again while I try to get everything set up. So hopefully I have another episode for Monday. If not, well, it's gonna have to be probably just odd days now. But anyways, enough of that. It's getting a little long, so in the next episode I'm gonna have to figure out how to set up things to start making all this. At least the motors are not gonna be hard, so at least we can probably start dealing with this pretty soon. So yeah, and then I don't know what went wrong with this right here with the hard drive, but apparently you have to, it's not an instant scan this time around. I guess they patched that because they probably accidentally made it instantaneously. They even messed up the, I don't know, the what's it called, the model here. It's not even proper anymore. Or maybe that MAM is no longer working and I have to have a different MAM. I don't know. Anyways, that's all for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that like button if you liked the episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.